Hello, Joanne, Desmond with you tonight on 7 News. The Rugby Championship puts Townsville on the world stage. A major milestone for the city's multi-million-dollar energy hub project. Bob Katter's message to Queenslanders fed up with ongoing COVID border closures.
You are one of the very few people in the world that will not have Christmas. Stand up and get your local member of parliament and tell him what you think of him.
A funding boost for struggling tourism operators. And the Brough Fun Park back up and running. We'll have all the details of these stories in 7 News tonight. Tonight, Townsville, the Rugby Championship's biggest winner.
Frustrations over energy hub funding.
Bob Katter's warning on borders.
And Indigenous vaccination rates lag.
Across Townsville and North Queensland, this is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
Well, Townsville has shown it's the ultimate party host, putting on a showstopper for the International Rugby Championship. From Flinders Street to the stadium, fans fill the city to watch world-class footy and the Wallabies win.
They were loud and proud and turned out in their droves. Abby Guerin, 7 News.
It certainly was a party and a half. Well, Townsville's on the cusp of a major jobs boost with construction on a chemicals hub at the Lansdowne precinct to begin next year. The funding troubles are frustrating Mayor Jenny Hill, who says the federal government needs to help finance the project.
The Townsville Energy and Chemicals Hub could see North Queensland become a key part of the renewable battery sector.
The tech project will be a game changer for the production of nickel and cobalt, delivering a low-cost, sustainable and environmentally friendly pathway to high-purity battery material.
Lawrence Jeffcoat, 7 News.
Bob Katter has issued a stark warning to the Premier. If Queensland's borders don't open for Christmas, there will be hell to pay. He says after 2 years of dealing with COVID, it's time to treat it like any other disease.
It's supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year, but ongoing border closures have Bob Katter concerned the Premier will steal Christmas from Queenslanders.
To abolish Christmas is very un-Australian.
Indigenous Queenslanders are falling behind in the race to vaccinate, with less than 25% being double jabbed. The LNP has accused the government of not giving First Nations people opportunities to receive a vaccine.
The Premier was pushing her all too familiar COVID-19 message from the Gold Coast today.
Please go and get vaccinated.
We'll take a break in a moment. Queensland is reliving their real-life disaster stories in a new podcast.
And Townsville's favourite theme park is back in business.
Townsville turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be a part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. A Townsville water park, which was forced to close earlier this year, is about to reopen. The owners of the Brough Fun Park say they've been able to resolve insurance issues and are now hoping the public will come back and support them.
This is what Brough Fun Park has looked like for almost a year. The 10-hectare fishing spot closed in January when the owners couldn't obtain public liability insurance.
A new $3 million state-of-the-art fire station is officially opened in Charters Towers. The upgraded facility has a dual-engine bay, a vertical rescue training tower and a purpose-built breathing apparatus room. At least 5 additional full-time firefighters will be stationed there ahead of the bushfire season.
Queenslanders are no strangers to disaster, particularly natural ones. A new podcast features first-hand stories from people caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Each episode follows real-life disaster stories told by the public and first responders and explores what happened next.
Pam Murphy's house burned to the ground in a raging bushfire 2 years ago. The the 90-year-old lost everything she owned. The podcast can be listened to at oursc.com.au. Simon Nichols, 7 News.
OK, let's get into the sport now. And Luke, the Argentinian coach, not happy after their loss to the Wallabies, mate.
No, he's not impressed, Rob. The Pumas were outclassed by the Aussies in Townsville, but it was the way the team were treated in the lead-up which has Mario Ledesma fuming. We'll have more on that next. And Townsville's two big sporting clubs form a new partnership. Welcome back to 7 News. Well, the Wallabies have won 3 in a row for the first time in 4 years with a 27-8 win over Argentina in Townsville. Now, the win moves them up to second in the Rugby Championship, but it was off-field drama which the Pumas coach was disappointed about.
The Las Pumas are a proud rugby team, and despite losing to the Wallabies, their presence was certainly felt in the...
The Townsville Fire will call the Cowboys Hutchinson building home for the next 6 weeks as they prepare for the WNBL season to start in November. The Fire will be given full access to the High Performance Centre in the new state-of-the-art partnership between the two clubs.
Spiralling footies will soon give way to shooting hoops. The Townsville Fire are settling into their new home for the pre-season.
Townsville long jumper Zoe Chester wants to make one giant leap of 6 metres in the sand after being crowned the under-15 champion at the North Queensland Athletics titles. Now, jumping a personal best of 5.88 metres, Chester was one of many locals who dominated on their home track. Athletics in the north of the state is currently thriving with a record 720 athletes competing over the 3-day event. No doubt a bit of inspiration from our recent Olympians in the track and field.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, thank you, Luke.
All right, we'll stay with us after the break. Rosanna joins us and she'll have all the weather details for us.
Hello, Rosanna Natoli with tonight's weather. Now, warmer temperatures, balmy days and clear skies. Sounds like a recipe for a quintessential spring day across North Queensland. We could see a shower or two tomorrow for the usual exposed areas of the coast, but otherwise these conditions are set to continue throughout much of the week. Temperatures today across the Herbert-Burdekin. Townsville had a range of 18 to 28 degrees with an afternoon humidity of 67%. 18 to 29 in Bowen, a top of 31 degrees for Charters Towers. To the satellite loop now, and southern Queensland is seeing plenty of activity today with widespread cloudy conditions and scattered showers. Further north, the skies though are fairly clear, sunny conditions across the board. On today's chart, an inland trough is dragging in the clouds and moisture across the southern half of the state. Meanwhile, a ridge extended by a high-pressure system that's sitting down here off the New South Wales coast means stable conditions up here in the north. On tomorrow's chart, a southeasterly wind surge is expected to reach the north tropical coast, and we should see an easing in the shower activity in the south tomorrow before the trough begins moving eastward, and that will be later in the week. So now to the latest from the Bureau. The boating forecast for Townsville waters, easterly winds tomorrow up to 20 knots with seas to 1.5 metres. We'll have northeasterly inshore winds throughout the afternoon. The half moon is coming up in a few days, so there's not much height difference between the tides. Highs is first tomorrow morning, shortly after 6. For the Herbert and Lower Burdekin, partly cloudy, only a slight chance of a morning shower in the north, a top of 28 for Townsville, Ingham and Ayr. For the northern Goldfields and Upper Flinders, mostly sunny tomorrow, fresh northeasterly winds. Charters Towers 17 to 32, Georgetown heading for 36 degrees. Looking ahead for Townsville, fairly stable conditions for the outlook. Maximum temperatures in the high 20s, potentially reaching up over 30 by this weekend. A slight chance of showers most days. Now, for tonight's pick, we are taking a trip to Hawaii for a bit of a fresh perspective on the sunset theme. That's with that one. Thanks to Jimmy for sending this one in. Don't forget to keep those picks coming. Bye for now.
And Rosanna, thank you very much. Lovely having your company. Catch you tomorrow night.
And also a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on the 7plus app and catch up on our page 7news.com.au. From all of us, good night.
Good night.